Welcome back. You've got so many of the key pieces falling in place to land your profitable product idea.
All the pieces of my life are falling right into place.
Let's take a moment to do a quick recap of all that you've already put together. You've embraced the MVP mindset and decided which of the 4 proven approaches you're going to take. You've chosen the one mega niche that you're going to focus on, and then got even more specific and decided on your micro niche, including the topic and core solution that your MVP will deliver. And you've also clarified whether your audience is tribe-based or niche-based. Finally, in the last video, you spent time deciding your product mission or the specific goal or outcome of your experience product. This has helped you get clear on exactly what your customers will do, be, feel, have, overcome, or achieve through your product. This has put you in the ideal position right here, right now, to determine what type of experience product you want to create first for your MVP launch.
Right here, right now, right here, right now.
Right here, right now is also one of those moments when you need to back yourself and choose a product type that makes the most sense to you at this present time, or that fulfills on your passion or your unique insight. You may find you already have a clear idea what that product type is, or you may still be unsure. Either way, I want to encourage you to keep an open mind as you go through this training. My advice is to not hold on to any idea you currently have too tightly. There are some things I'm sharing that may change your mind. And if you're not yet sure which product type to go with, that's all good. You'll get what you need here to make a decision. The important thing is that you do make a decision. However, you don't need to sweat this decision too much. Remember, you are iterating your way to awesome, and it's much better to make a decision and take imperfect action than it is to get stuck at any point in this process with analysis paralysis.
More action. That's what we need.
So as you approach this step in the process, remember your MVP mindset and continue to embrace progress over perfection. By choosing a product type and moving on, you'll get much more clarity than if you spend too much time here deliberating, because action is the shortest route to clarity. That's the beauty of the MVP mindset. You can keep iterating and seeing what works and what doesn't without it being a huge cost to you in time or money, so you can ultimately get to your blockbuster hit product sooner.
It's a guaranteed blockbuster.
Are you with me? Let's go. Okay. So let's lay some ground rules for what's going to happen in the session. Let's start with some terminology. Your business model is how you're going to make money, including those first sales that will prove your MVP over the next 12 weeks. Your product type is a specific product or service that you'll deliver to your market. The product type you choose in this session is the new revenue stream you're adding to your business model. In other words, it's what you're going to sell to make money. Different business models work better with different product types, and I'll share with you exactly what those business models are so you can decide the one best suited to you right here, right now, and then that's going to guide you to the relevant product types you should be considering so you can get clarity around that as well. Today, you simply want to choose the business model that you think you'll go with and the type of experience product best suited to that business model and you. This is the product that you want to design, launch, and profit from during our time together. Whether that's an online course, a consulting service, a continuity program, or one of the many other types of products that you can Xperiencify using the experience formula, which I'll be sharing with you here today. By the end of this video, you'll have completed your right product, right market, right time worksheet, checking off your business model, the type of product your MVP will be, and you'll be able to fill in the blanks in this statement. The type of minimum viable product I'm going to launch in the next 12 weeks is blank, which fits with my blank business model. For example, the type of minimum viable product I'm going to launch in the next 12 weeks is a private coaching package, which fits with my one-on-one business model. Or the type of minimum viable product I'm going to launch in the next 12 weeks is a group training program, which fits with my one-to-few business model. Or whatever blanks make the most sense for you in your business right now, and I'm going to give you the context you need to make those choices. It's as simple as that. All you need to do is complete 2 checkboxes and fill in those 2 blanks by the end of this video. Now let's dive into your experience product in more detail. First, You want to keep in mind that experience products, unlike regular courses or information products, can take just about any shape or form. So when we're talking about something like an online course, chances are it's not going to look like any other kind of online course that you've ever taken before. So don't let your current experience of what a product in a particular category looks like color what's possible for you when you apply the experience formula to that particular product type. Because I know this might not be your first rodeo. Perhaps you've tried to create courses or programs, workshops, coaching, or other product types in the past and felt they just didn't hit the mark. Or maybe you've paid for courses, workshops, coaching, and so on from others that left less than a great impression. I get feedback like that all the time. Many people tell me they feel reluctant about creating a product because they've been let down by something similar in the past, or that they've let their customers down, which was my story. Like I shared earlier in this module, the first online course I created called Message to Money was just too ambitious. I watched how my students struggled, and it was soul destroying after having put so much into the creation of that program. With the best of intentions, I had created something that instead of really helping people, was leaving them behind. And I was definitely hesitant to create another program if I couldn't get my customers the results I promised. It was that core struggle that led me to create the experience formula and to realize the massive difference an experience product can take. That led to the creation of this masterclass, the right product for the right market at the right time. While the world doesn't need more information or just another product or service, it does need the experience that only you can create to help your customers get the results they want. So if you hear yourself saying, I don't want to create another product because they don't work, they don't get results, or I've never completed one in my life, stop right there and let's change the way you're approaching this.
Stop right there.
Try replacing your inner dialogue with something more like this. I'm creating a product in a way that truly serves my business and my customers. Shift from an I can't, I won't, I don't want to dialogue to a how can I dialogue.
I can't do it.
The question I asked myself after the quote unquote failure of Message to Money was, how can I create a product that would move anyone, no matter how stuck or confused they felt, into more clarity and action to create and launch their experience product in just a few weeks? And I gotta be honest, that question scared the hell out of me, and I honestly didn't know if it was possible. But I sat with this question and I sat with it. And then I dared to believe that it was possible. Like the Wright brothers dared to believe that it was possible for humans to fly, even when everyone else around them thought they were crazy. And even after they tried and failed and tried and failed and had more than a few spectacular accidents along the way. That shift in my line of inquiry led to our huge breakthrough. This Experience Product Masterclass, which is the most successful online course we've ever offered, and has become one of the most successful courses in our market. That's why you're here right now watching this. Amazing, right? And all this happened from making the shift from feeling sorry for myself and kicking myself for letting people down and letting people fall through the cracks, to challenging myself to create something new in a different way, in a way that would work, in a way that I could feel good about what I was doing again. Like I often say, sometimes you gotta break down before you break through. And if you ever felt like that throughout this program, or anytime you're trying something new, just say those words to yourself: break down before breakthrough. Remind yourself that it's often darkest just before the dawn, that the breaking down of old patterns, habits, and ideas is making way for the breakthrough you've been looking for. And sometimes that can feel uncomfortable or hard, but we can't get to extraordinary without doing a little extra. And often we need to go through the breakdown to get to the breakthrough. We've created this hashtag breakdown before breakthrough, for you to use if you ever feel like posting about this in the EPM Facebook group, whether you need support during a breakdown or you want to share a breakthrough. We're all in this together. And while this is a program about creating your experience product, I'm the first to acknowledge that your mindset and your willingness to reach out for help is a big part of your success. So let us know if you're in that messy, tough stage, and give yourself that reminder that the breakthrough is often preceded by the breaking down of the old, so you can make way for a new and brighter future. So I encourage you to make that shift to possibility thinking, to know that there will be difficulties and challenges. That's normal. To let go of the pressure of the woulda, coulda, shouldas. Nobody's perfect. and instead ask yourself, what is getting ready to break through? What's the real opportunity here? What is everyone else missing that I could provide? How can I do things differently that people will notice and love me for? And we're going to continue with that line of possibility thinking over the next 2 modules and beyond as you design, launch, and profit from your MVP. Now let's make the choice around the type of product that you want to create from that possibility mindset, because anything is possible here. Let's start by talking about your business model. Getting clear on that first will help you determine the right type of product for where you're at right now. At the highest level, there are 3 business models when it comes to creating your experience product: one-to-one, one-to-few, and one-to-many. Let's look at one-to-many first. Like I said in the session where I introduced the MVP concept, many gurus out there teach that you need a go big or go home one-to-many product right from the start. And while anything is possible, trying to build that jet plane first before knowing how to get off the ground has actually hampered more good ideas than it's helped. Far too many gurus are suggesting you start with some kind of one-to-many product, where you create something once and rely on being able to sell that product at scale to many people, like a live event you present to a large audience, or an online course designed to have hundreds or even thousands of participants. And don't get me wrong, I love one-to-many products. When done right, they allow you to leverage your time and scale your business so you can make more money, serve more people, and make a bigger impact. And that's a wonderful goal that I highly recommend for every business, including yours, if that's what you want. The question is whether it's the right time for you and your business right now to create that kind of product. And that's why I call this video, Right Product, Right Market, Right Time. You'll create several products and offers over the lifespan of your business. Whether this is your first product or offer, your second, your third, or you're a seasoned product creator. The question I'd like to pose for you in this video is, what's the best type of experience product for you right now at this particular point in your business? And based on the amount of time, energy, and resources you have at your disposal over the next 12 weeks. Because that's very often not about starting with a one-to-many product. A one-to-many product is where most people end, not where they start. And here's why. A one-to-many product often requires you to either already have a large audience or be able to put together complex marketing strategies that attract a lot of people. A one-to-many business model also typically requires more of an upfront financial investment, more time, more technology, more team, and more moving parts. And that is a smart move when you have a proven idea and the experience and expertise to offer your product at scale. That's what's happening here in EPM. Literally thousands of students have taken this program since we first launched in 2016, and we're making a global impact with students joining us from all over the world. But that's not where I started, and it's not where most people start, not even those people who are touting the one-to-many products they're selling. The one-to-many approach is really the opposite of an MVP, which is all about getting to market fast with a low-cost, low-tech solution to prove your idea and make some early sales that help pay the bills and build your confidence and experience as you iterate your way to awesome. Here we're all about creating proof of concept, putting together that minimum viable product that proves your idea and gets you some early traction and results. I get that this may not be what you want to hear. I totally understand. I have students tell me all the time, but Marisa, I see this idea reaching the masses, and I am all in 1000% to helping you reach those masses, just like I've helped literally thousands of other students. But here's what you need to know. Those gurus who have those enticing marketing campaigns saying how you can make $1 million overnight with their simple 3-step process that will have hundreds of clients flocking to your program are very rarely able to deliver on that promise for their customers, except for a few who were already experienced, who already had a scaled business, or who just got lucky. But for me, that's not enough. I don't want to leave this to chance. I want to give you the best flight plan for success, because I imagine you have some big grand plans for your business, and I honor those big grand plans and want to help you realize them, one step at a time. If you want to have a big business where you're serving thousands of people, I can help you get there. I have many students who've reached that goal. Or if you're saying, Marisa, I just want to create a great income, keeping it simple, and having a reliable, repeatable way to get a steady stream of a small number of clients, I can help you with that as well, and have done so for thousands of others. But you will get there by taking smart, incremental steps here. Let me tell you the story my husband and business partner Murray told me about a group of Japanese tourists who wanted to make it to the top of Mount Everest, and they thought they were really clever. They wanted to skip the months of training. They wanted to skip climbing from base camp to base camp to base camp and working their way slowly up the mountain. I mean, who has time for that? So they hired a helicopter to take them up to the last possible base camp that helicopters can go to, so they could see the beautiful views and take their selfies on the mountain. The helicopter landed, they got off the plane, and instead of thriving and having a great time enjoying the view, here's what happened. They immediately collapsed. You see, their bodies weren't accustomed to that high altitude. They hadn't acclimatized like they would have if they'd made the journey in stages, staying at base camps at various altitudes along the way. Instead of breathing in the experience, they weren't able to breathe at all. That's the problem with starting big before you have the experience and, in many cases, the resources. When you haven't acclimatized, the mistakes, missteps, and delays can be big and expensive too. That's why we're taking a proof of concept approach here in this masterclass to demonstrate that you have a marketable idea, a profitable idea, by beta testing that idea before you go big. This gives you base camps along the way to acclimatize, and that's where the other two types of business models come into play. I mentioned there are 3 types of business models. We've covered one-to-many. Now let's look at one-to-one and one-to-few. If you've never made money before in your business, then I recommend starting with a one-to-one experience-based service or program to test your ideas, systems, and frameworks before trying to leverage and scale. One-to-one means, as it sounds, working directly with individual customers by providing one-on-one offerings like coaching, consulting, and other services where you work deeply with one customer at a time. And while it's not as scalable as a one-to-many model, it's usually much easier to get your first paying customers and requires far less infrastructure time and upfront investment. It also gives you a way to figure out what works and what doesn't, and to formulate a clearer picture of your market and what they need, what they'll pay, and how you can communicate with them to get them buying from you. Or if you do want to start with a group program, start with a small group one-to-few approach. As the name suggests, one-to-few means doing something for just a few people. For example, creating a short program with 30 people or less that allows you to have that intimacy and get really familiar with everyone that you're working with and get the feedback that you need to iterate your way to an awesome blockbuster hit product. In other words, start with one-to-one or one-to-few rather than one-to-many. A helpful way to think about your business model is to imagine a spectrum with the word intimacy on one end and scale on the other. At the intimacy end of the spectrum are the one-on-one programs and services, and on the scale end of the spectrum are the one-to-many products, programs, and courses. And in the middle is the word leverage, where you're leveraging your time to some degree by serving more than one person at a time, but you don't quite have scale. You can't serve an unlimited number of people. You've got a cap on the number of people you can serve without compromising quality or compromising the experience that you create for your customers, clients, and students. And I know you care about looking after your customers. That's why I regularly get questions like this. I have strong concerns about not supporting people if it's a large group and I don't have support coaches. And that's an awesome question and a legitimate concern, especially when you're just getting started or when you don't have a big team. And that's why it's so important to create the right kind of product at the right time in your business. Most people want more customers, and I think, I wish I could just snap my fingers and have 100 customers tomorrow. But let me ask you, do you really want that? Do you really have the systems and processes in place to handle 100 customers tomorrow? Would you be able to get those 100 customers to their goal of mission accomplished? If not, then it's good to start on the one-to-one or one-to-few side of the spectrum, because your product marketing and delivery becomes more complex as you go farther and farther to the right of the spectrum. A program like this one is quite complex to market and deliver, and it took me 5 years before I had the team, resources, and know how to pull this off at the level of quality and experience that we're delivering here. On the left side of the spectrum, you don't need a lot of resources, systems, or support to market or deliver your product. In the middle, you need some resources, but not a ton. And on the right side, as you go into scale, you need a lot more resources, systems, or support to market and deliver your product. You need what we call in New Orleans, buku resources. The number one mistake I see people make is trying to scale too fast before they have proof of concept. So they end up investing a lot of time and money on complex product launches, marketing videos, and other complex strategies before their offer is dialed in enough to bring in the money and resources to support all of that. Now, you'll get to the right side of the spectrum if you want to, and I have many students who are here right now. But they usually get there by starting over here. That way, when you do iterate your way to here, you'll have everything you need to intelligently scale without losing quality or making huge investments before you're poised to recoup those investments. Like I said, this concept of choosing the right kind of product for where you are in business right now is fundamentally different from what most of the gurus teach. They teach you to jump straight to scale, passive income, money while you sleep, which is an undeniably sexy concept. I mean, who doesn't want to earn money while they sleep? But, and this is a big but, if you're not ready to scale or you're not a marketing and technology genius, it can be complicated to jump right into a fully scalable program without passing through the base camps of one-to-one or one-to-few first and getting the experience that you need to scale. The learning curve is just huge. Ouch. It can be so painful getting overwhelmed, lost, and stuck, thinking that you need to do social media and Facebook ads and create a mailing list and have all these pages and all that stuff. And that's how you end up spinning your wheels going nowhere fast. I've seen this exact scenario hundreds of times with new entrepreneurs who haven't even tested their idea and made their first dollar. And they're being seduced by these advanced strategies. Like I said, you can and will get to the top of the mountain, but be careful about trying to skip the base camps. Because here's the thing, the less people you're working with, the less complicated it is to market, sell, and deliver your products, and the faster you can make money. So on the left side of the spectrum, marketing, sales, and delivery is all about connection. And on the right side, it's all about production. And production requires some skills, savvy, know-how, and resources to get right. And that just takes some time to develop. But connection is something most people can do. Even introverts can find a way to speak to just one person, to help one person. You can also charge higher prices on the left side of the spectrum. So as you'll see when we get to Module 2, you can make your revenue goals with far less sales. Choosing the right business model at the right time in your business is the number one most important lesson that you can learn, which will save you years of trial and error and a lot of money. So I want to make sure that you're really getting this. I truly believe that intimacy and leverage are just as sexy as scale.
I'm bringing sexy back.
That's why our year-long Momentum program incorporates one-on-one coaching with small one-to-few group coaching pods and the resources and experiences that are only possible in a larger one-to-many program. At this point in my business, I'm able to do one-to-one, one-to-few, and one-to-many in the same program. So if you haven't made money before in your business or this is your first product, I recommend starting in the left or middle of the spectrum before you try to scale to one-to-many. That's exactly what EPM student Kat Corey did too. I shared Kat's story in the first training of this module. She now has a massively successful one-to-many business offering her Instagram makeover course at scale. But she started here in EPM doing one-to-one, working directly with one customer at a time, doing Instagram makeovers as a consultant. Then she migrated to one-to-few, doing small group Instagram makeover programs before reaching thousands of people around the world with the same product at scale as part of her one-to-many business model. Now she's reached over 10,000 customers. So let's look at the experience product types that fall into each of our three categories: one-to-one, one-to-few, and one-to-many, starting with one-to-one experience product types. Regardless of your area of expertise, you can create a one-on-one product. It's not just the approach for traditional one-on-one providers like lawyers, doctors, or consultants. Today, people are willing to pay for one-on-one support in so many areas of their lives, From learning to play a musical instrument, to being more confident, to becoming a better parent, hockey player, CEO, and much, much more. The field is wide open with opportunities for you to make money selling a one-on-one experience product. These one-to-one products are typically based on intimacy and connection, rather than appealing to your market at scale. And these kinds of services are often marketed by word of mouth, and you tend to work with your customers in a high-touch and comprehensive way, often over long periods of time. Let me share the product types that fall into this one-on-one business model before moving on to one-to-few and one-to-many product types. So one-to-one product types include private coaching packages, consulting retainers, VIP days, done-for-you services, and healing packages. The big advantage that comes with offering one-on-one products like these is that they allow you to develop your systems, processes, and frameworks. Starting with the one-on-one product type can give you great clarity on what it takes to help someone to go from getting started to mission accomplished. Because you're working directly with the client, you're able to get instant feedback and see what works and what doesn't. And once you've worked with just a few people in this deep way, it also gives you the confidence that comes with really understanding your market, knowing where people get stuck along the way and what gets them unstuck. This is incredibly valuable insight that makes it a lot easier to start to package that expertise into one-to-few and one-to-many products down the line. Let's take a look at these one-on-one product types in more detail. A private coaching package is where you offer coaching services not on a one-off basis, but rather as a package or program containing multiple sessions. These services are often delivered in a 1, 3, 6, or 12-month package where you get people to commit to working with you over time rather than working with you just for an hour here or there. You really want to move away from the hourly model. Even if you're in a one-on-one business model, you can still get more leverage and have a more consistent income by shifting to a package approach. The other huge benefit is that you can add more of the experience formula into an ongoing coaching package, which means you can deliver a deeper level of transformation to someone than you could if you were only working with them for an hour at a time, and get all the extra benefits of having them refer their friends, invest in more support, and so much more. The same applies to the next one-to-one product type, a consulting retainer. Instead of a one-off consulting arrangement where you might help with one call or one project, you can package your consulting services into an ongoing retainer where your clients pay you a set amount each month for access to you up to a certain amount of time. I found after teaching literally thousands of students and doing this myself that one-on-one coaching and consulting, as outlined in the first of these two one-to-one product types, is often the fastest way to build a profitable business, because you only have to sell one person at a time, and you do that by creating a lot of connection with that person. You don't need a lot of complex marketing right out of the gate, and of course, we show you how to create the connection you need to make one-on-one sales in the Sales for Superheroes bonus that you got with EPM. As a coach or consultant doing one-on-one work, in addition to packages over time, you can also do what's called a VIP day, where you do a short, intensive one-day session with your client focused on getting a specific outcome in that session. This is a great way to get fast results in a short period of time. And for some people, that's really appealing, especially if you're someone who doesn't like to work with clients over a longer period of time. You can get in, deliver great value, and get out. So if that sounds like you, then VIP days could be a great product type for you. VIP days can also be a great entry point into longer, more ongoing client relationships if you want that. So this could be a good strategy to start with and then offer an ongoing consulting retainer or private coaching package from there. The next type of one-on-one product you can offer is done-for-you services. You could be a web designer, you could be a pay-per-click advertising agency, you could be an artist delivering photography or graphic design or anything like that. All of these constitute done-for-you services where you actually do a service for other people. I've seen people do ghostwriting services. I've seen people do resume writing services, clothes shopping, and styling services. There are a lot of different ways that you can offer services, and done-for-you services are some of the easiest yeses that you can get, because most people would prefer that someone else just do the work for them rather than having to learn how to do it for themselves. So just like VIP days, starting with the done-for-you service is also a great way to give someone an immediate result and taste of what you do. So they're more willing and likely to then take up a longer term package with you, whether it's a longer term done for you service or longer term coaching package or consulting retainer. Now, our last one-on-one product type applies more to people in the healing or health modalities, and that's a healing package. And much like the private coaching package, this is where instead of selling a one-off consultation or healing service, you invite people to take a package of services. So for example, instead of offering a one-off chiropractic session, you might offer a 12-week injury recovery package. Or if you help women deal with the health impacts of menopause, instead of a one-time consult, you might put a package together that includes an introductory diagnostic and then a weekly check-in with a more detailed monthly consultation. Okay, let's now move on to one-to-few product types. The one-to-few business model helps you gain more leverage than the one-on-one business model by expanding from working with just one person at a time to working with a few people at a time. A few could be 2 or 3 people at a time. It could be 5 to 10 people at a time, or it could be a small group like 10, 20, or possibly even up to 30 people at a time. And if you've been doing one-on-one and you feel concerned about being able to deliver a quality experience to more people, your goal will be to understand what the maximum number of people is that you can adequately serve. And this number can increase over time. You might start out going from one-on-one to say a small group of 3 or 4 and gradually work up to a group of 15, 20, or even 30. One-to-few experience products include group coaching programs, group training programs or courses, hybrid group training and coaching programs, workshops, events or retreats, and done with you or done for you programs. First, let's look at the group coaching program product type. This is where you're coaching a group of people around getting a specific result in their life, in their business, in their health, in their relationship, in their spiritual or personal development, whatever it may be, and you're really allowing the group to learn from each other. So for example, you could be delivering a program live or online using Zoom or another platform that enables multiple people to participate, where you provide coaching via open Q&A like we do in EPM, or by observing people complete a task and then offering feedback on that task to the group, so everyone is learning from your observations. Or you could invite people to submit their homework in advance, then coach on the overall themes you see coming up across the board for all your students, or any combination of these approaches, where you're not just coaching people one at a time. Group coaching programs can be really powerful through a phenomenon that I call side door coaching. Now, sometimes when you're being coached directly around a blind spot or challenge, you might go into fight or flight mode where you get defensive. You want to fight back. You want to argue. You want to deny the problem. But a lot of times when you see someone else being coached around the same blind spot or challenge that you have, you can receive the coaching because it's not being directed at you. So the power of side door coaching is incredibly deep and powerful. I've had students in my group coaching programs get their biggest breakthroughs, not when I was coaching them, but when I was coaching someone else. So being a fly on the wall as someone else is being coached can often be more powerful than being coached directly yourself.
And who am I? I am a fly on the wall.
So if you offered a group coaching program that helped people manage their own Facebook advertising, for example, you could include as part of your program a live Q&A component where all your clients were on the same call and they could ask you questions. Even though you may be answering the question from one particular client, it's highly likely that your answer will help most, if not everyone on the call. Or if you are hosting a group coaching program helping people to deal with their anger in a more productive way, you could do regular group coaching sessions where you choose students to role play certain situations and then you debrief those situations with the group. Even though only 2 students may be involved in the role play, your debrief and the discussion that comes from it is valuable for everyone. The same goes for the next type of one-to-few product, a group training program or course. Here you're creating valuable information once that multiple people can benefit from at the same time. This can be a really simple program to deliver. You don't even need a fancy membership site to deliver it either. You could do this with a Zoom account and free Facebook group, or simply send people to Dropbox links and YouTube videos and manage it all with a few emails. There are a lot of ways to start with a group training program that are relatively low tech and that allow you to move into a one-to-few business model without creating a lot of unnecessary expense or complexity. The great thing about the one-to-few business model, if you're interested in this as a stepping stone to a one-to-many business model, is that you can road test your program with a small number of people. So you can get a feel for how a group responds without having to manage a large group and all the extra complexity that comes with that. It's possible to manage a small group of 5, 10, or even 30 people on your own, even if you don't have any team or technology infrastructure. That intimacy allows you to create an extraordinary experience and really get to know every single participant and serve each of them in a deep way, understanding their needs, their desires, and really fine-tuning your framework, your processes, and your systems before you go into scale and try to do the same work at a one-to-many level. Also, when you deliver a program live for the first time, you get that all-important feedback, plus the validation that you're on the right track. You also get the opportunity to collaborate with your students to make your program even better before you try to do a more advanced pre-recorded automated evergreen program that can be delivered to many people at scale without you even being there. Now, those evergreen rinse and repeat programs are great once your content is really dialed in because it's tried and tested. You know you're providing the best possible experience and exactly what your students need to reach mission accomplished. You're also gaining experience leading groups. All that's why I recommend running your program as a one-to-few program before launching it one-to-many. You can also offer a hybrid program where you combine training and coaching. This is the next of our one-to-few product types, group training and coaching programs, which are also sometimes referred to as courses. So this is a situation where you may have a training program that delivers lessons and modules online, and then a weekly live Q&A call or access to a coaching component. That's very much what this Experience Product Masterclass is. While you get the benefit of all the training and education, you also have access to your Experience Product Success Coach and the live Q&A sessions with me and the coaches to get more support as you implement and get your experience product created. The next one-to-few product type is a workshop, event, or retreat. This can take the form of a live or virtual event. It can be in a retreat format, which is where people go to a specific destination for your program. These are often held in places like private houses, resorts, or retreat centers that provide an environment for people to experience a transformation that combines the setting with the instruction you're providing. Retreats are often multi-day programs versus, say, a workshop, which can be multi-days or can be a shorter session targeted at learning or mastering a specific skill or topic. Of course, there's no limit to your options when it comes to a live or virtual event. It can be just a few hours or a few days. It can be focused on going deep on one topic or giving a broad overview. It can be all about implementing, taking action, and getting things done, or more about inspiring and getting people to think differently and anything in between. And these types of experience products can be incredibly powerful because you're bringing people together in one place, whether that's a physical or virtual environment. And when you get people live, you can have the deepest level of transformation and feedback. You can also often charge more money to create a premium experience and do it in an awesome location, or provide food, or create additional experiences to bring the group together above and beyond your main teaching. Experiencing community is one of our primary drivers and desires as a human being. So live workshops, events, or retreats really bring in the community element in a significant way. Another great type of experience product that you can offer within the one-to-few business model is to provide what I call done with you or done for you programs. For example, let's say you help people create business plans. You could lead a workshop where you bring a few people together for a weekend where you deliver a mix of teaching, demonstration, and hands-on support so the participants get their business plan done in 2 days by following along with you, either looking over your shoulder or being led step by step through exercises with you. That's why I call it a done with you program, because your students are doing it side by side with you. They're doing the work, but they've got your guidance and feedback every step of the way as you do it. In contrast, a one-to-few done for you program would be where you create some kind of templated process that you can do for multiple people versus creating a bespoke service for each one-on-one client. This could be a website template, for example, or a legal document template, or a brochure design template that you or someone on your team completes for multiple people, all using the same approach and with little to no customization. This can be a service that you add onto a done with you program, or even a live event or workshop where you teach your students to prepare the elements that you need to complete the done for you portion of the product. For example, if you're a web designer, your training program could teach people how to write the 5 basic pages of their website, and then they provide that content to you to build their site for them using your website template process. I once did a personal branding and thought leadership retreat where each student left with their profile photos and homepage video done. We had a group process around scripting and workshopping the video, and we all went shopping together. Then we photographed and filmed each student individually and edited their photos and videos for them. In this way, you're able to go from one-on-one done-for-you services to a more leveraged one-to-few approach. One-to-few can be a powerful stepping stone if you're looking to scale a current done-for-you service beyond one-to-one to one-to-many. One thing I want to speak to here is that some people have the mistaken notion that as they go from one-to-one to one-to-few or one-to-many, the experience is not as good as the one-on-one experience. But when you do this with the experience formula, you can actually make the one-to-few and the one-to-many experience even better than the one-to-one experience, especially because you're able to give access to your products and your services to people who wouldn't be able to afford to work with you one-on-one. So they're able to get the result while spending less money, which is, of course, a better experience for them than struggling to do it all on their own. Okay, so we covered one-to-one and one-to-few types of experience products. Let's look now at the possible one-to-many product types so you can be aware of the full list of options you have to choose from when you get to the stage of being ready for the one-to-many business model. If you're just getting started or launching an experience product for the first time, I'm encouraging you to stick with the one-to-one and one-to-few business models. But it's still helpful to see what's possible and where you're going if your longer-term plan is to reach the masses and have a one-to-many business model. And of course, if you're already making good money in your business, one-to-many may be just right for you right now. One-to-many product types include books and eBooks, online courses, digital products and home study programs, digital continuity programs or membership sites, physical products, physical continuity programs, large-scale workshops and events, mastermind programs, certification programs, publishing or licensing programs, software or software as a service, which is often called SaaS, advertising or sponsorship packages, and affiliate products. Now let's take a quick sneak peek at what each of these are in a little more detail, starting with books and eBooks. I know a lot of people taking this program are authors, and if you already have books you want to Xperiencify, that's great. Just keep in mind that while books are a great way to bring people into your world, the real money usually comes through higher ticket back-end products, programs, and courses rather than the book itself. A book is kind of like the gateway into working with you on a deeper level. You can definitely Xperiencify books by incorporating many of the 10 core experiences that we'll be exploring fully in Module 5, or linking out to audio or video sessions that supplement your book with extra exercises and trainings. That said, I don't recommend making your book your primary focus in EPM because my goal is to help you launch a profitable product, and only the best-selling books make real money. So instead, I recommend you build your business in EPM with one of our other product types so you can grow the audience that you need to turn a book into a bestseller. Now let's look at the next product type on the one-to-many list. Online courses are the most common type of one-to-many experience product and the experience type that most people come to us to create. This is where you deliver content in an automated way that can be distributed to and accessed by many people at a time. For example, videos, emails, audio recordings, webinars, Facebook Lives, PDF resources, and more. Now, most online courses happen over a finite period of time, whether it's 2 weeks, 30 days, 60 days, or 3 months. There's usually a start and end date in which people are gonna receive instruction and achieve a specific outcome. In contrast, leaving the program open-ended makes it harder for people to say yes to because they don't know exactly what they're aiming for. So the more you can make your online course around both a specific time frame and a specific result, the more effective your program is gonna be. You can run an online course cohort where you've got a group of students all starting and ending at the same time, or you can run an evergreen course where people can buy and consume your program at any time. Another one-to-many product type is a digital product or home study program. This can take the form of an online course, but it could also be as simple as an audio program that you listen to in your car. So a digital product or home study program is similar to an online course, but it might not have the level of engagement, interaction, and implementation of a course that's often designed for a deeper level of education and community. Now, because of that, courses are usually more expensive than digital products or home study programs. Next, we've got digital continuity programs or membership sites. The idea behind a continuity program is that your customers don't just buy something from you once. You provide a service where they pay you every single month to get something. In the case of a digital continuity program, that can include things like access to online templates, recipes, trainings, creative projects, financial, legal, or HR advice, downloads, community access, Q&As, and more. And your customers pay every single month to continue to get access to those resources and privileges. Continuity programs are great and can help you to create what's called passive income or making money while you sleep that you can rely on every single month. This works when the idea for your continuity program is something that people are gonna be able to stay engaged with month after month for years at a time. But the truth is that most continuity program creators adopt a churn and burn approach where they lose about 50% of their customers every 3 months. So they constantly have to be marketing and trying to fill their programs because they're not able to keep people engaged in consuming the benefits of their membership every single month. So people start to look at their credit card bill and say things like, why am I still paying $49 a month for this? I'm not really using this or getting anything out of this. So I'm going to cancel. Now, before you go into continuity, you might want to figure out, do I have the skills to keep someone engaged month after month? Of course, the experience formula helps to transform those statistics, but it's a big ongoing commitment. And because most continuity programs are under $100 a month, you need scale to make a digital continuity program really pay off. Now, the next type of one-to-many products are physical products, where you sell some kind of product that people can touch and feel. This may be particularly relevant to you if you do multi-level marketing or any business where you sell some kind of physical product. Whether it's a nutritional supplement or vitamins, whether it's protein shakes, crochet kits, craft packages, snacks, skincare, whatever it happens to be. You can absolutely use the experience formula with physical products, especially if you want people to either make repeat purchases or fuel your customers' desire to actually consume that product so they don't return it. If it's a low-cost, low-priority physical product, like a screw or a widget, it's not so important to Xperiencify your product. But if it's a premium, higher-end product that you want people to hang on to and not return, or something that you want people to buy over and over again, then the experience product model will definitely support you. Now, just like you can have digital continuity programs, you can also have physical continuity programs, and that's our next one-to-many product type. And like the digital continuity program, your physical continuity program is based on people agreeing to pay you over and over for the regular delivery of that product. Think snack box companies that deliver a box of snacks to an office every month, so the team has healthy snacks in the kitchen instead of having to leave the office to go out and buy something. Or the crochet teacher who sends the monthly pack of wools and patterns to members, or the multitude of box delivery businesses that package up monthly fashion accessories or books or self-care products or skincare. There really is no limit to what can become a successful physical continuity program, as the massively successful Dollar Shave Club has proven. However, remember, this strategy relies on scale. It's a one-to-many product type and requires a lot of traction to get the number of customers that you need to make this viable. Otherwise, it's hard to make the margins work since you need to factor in manufacturing, warehousing, shipping, support, and more. Now, our next one-to-many product type are large-scale workshops and events. I've already talked about the benefit of small one-to-few events, and those benefits also apply at a larger scale. So imagine growing your one-to-few annual event from 50 to 20 people to a massive 300 to 3,000 person event. It's possible. It may not happen overnight, but it can happen. Larger scale one-to-many events are also the best opportunity to enroll people into higher ticket one-to-few products, such as Masterminds or longer term group coaching programs that last 6 months to a year or beyond. So big events are amazing, but I don't recommend trying to do a big event in the next 12 weeks because there are so many moving parts and a lot of expense involved in booking venues and so on. So you really want to have a proven and tested product before you try to scale a live event. Another type of one-to-many program are masterminds. These are based on a similar idea as group coaching programs in that a collective wisdom emerges from the group. However, instead of being led by one expert or coach, masterminds are usually based on everyone contributing. You still have a facilitator that's creating and leading the experience, but everyone is encouraged to contribute to one another. Mastermind programs work best when people want to learn from peers who are at a similar level to them, and not just from the main teacher, presenter, facilitator, or coach. These programs are most valuable when you've got a high-level, more advanced group. Now, another way to scale to one-to-many with an experienced product is to launch a certification program. This is where you certify others to deliver your training program, methodology, or service. For example, if you've got a specific meditation technique that you want to scale globally, rather than personally trying to open hundreds of meditation centers around the world, you could certify existing meditation teachers in your methodology. Those meditation teachers would pay you a fee for the certification. This certification may be valid for life or for a set period only, such as a year, after which they need to either take continuing education programs to maintain their certification or simply pay an annual fee. Again, this is a highly sophisticated strategy and not one to start with. Certification works best when you're either renowned for your work or you figured out how to do something in a unique way that lots of people want to learn. Certification also works best when getting the certification either gives someone special status, access, or it advances their business or career. Now, another more advanced type of experience product are publishing or licensing programs. This is when you either have clients who pay you to license the use of your artwork or intellectual property, or where you work with other creators to help them bring their ideas to market and then license that product to sell through your network. Momentum grad Jesse Krieger has a publishing company, Lifestyle Entrepreneurs Press, and when he publishes books through his company, he collects royalties on sales. Licensing is more common in the world of arts and entertainment. For example, let's say you're an illustrator. You could then license your illustrations and distribute that through your network of companies who are looking for imagery to print on fashion, homeware, stationery, and other products. Another type of one-to-many experience product is software or software as a service, which is commonly called SaaS. So if you've got a software tool or app, this can be an amazing way to do continuity at scale, where people are investing in your software subscription month after month after month. Obviously, software is a lot more complex and has long and often expensive lead time involving lots of development and technology. It typically takes much longer than the 12 weeks we have here in this program, which is why I don't recommend focusing on the software or SaaS product type during our time together unless it's a super simple software that you know you can develop in a much shorter window or something that you already have ready. But keep in mind that most software projects don't stay on schedule and always take longer than you think. So I do recommend one of these other one-to-one, one-to-few, or one-to-many experience products during our time together. But I still wanted to put it on the list so you see what's possible for you in the future. Another one-to-many product is to offer an advertising or sponsorship package. This is where you find other people and businesses who want to promote their product or service to your audience, and they pay you for that privilege. That could take the form of an exhibition booth at your event, where sponsors get a space in the main foyer to mix and mingle with your event attendees, or it could take the form of a sponsor getting an opportunity to speak at your event. Or if you've built a large audience, selling ads to your blog, your email list, or your social media following. And finally, one last advanced one-to-many product is to sell someone else's product as an affiliate. One creative way I've seen students use experience products to create your own bonuses to either make the affiliate product more enticing to buy or easier to consume. So if you're selling a popular MLM product, let's say essential oils, you could, for example, create a comprehensive program on building your own home pharmacy that you could give as a bonus if customers buy from you versus another supplier. Or if you wanted to become a top affiliate for, say, a marketing automation software company, you could offer a done-with-you program or training on how to get set up with that software for free when they purchase through you, giving you an edge over your competitors and providing a valuable service for your clients. Okay, now you know the 3 main business model types: one-to-one, one-to-few, one-to-many, and the recommended product type suited to each of those business models. And you also know my recommendation is to not jump into one-to-many from the start unless you already have traction in your business, but rather to make your way up the mountain from base camp to base camp, starting with the one-to-one business model, then one-to-few, then if you want, one-to-many. Now you have the information you need to make an informed decision when it comes to what's the right product type and business model for you right now.
Right here, right now, right here, right now.
So now it's time to get back to the worksheet for today's session. And here's what you want to do. As you can see from the top section here, the right product, right market, right time checklist lays out the 4 steps involved. Step 1, decide on your business model. Step 2, decide on your experience product type. Step 3, complete your right product, right time statement. Step 4, share your right product, right time statement in the EPM Facebook group. Let's look at step 1. First, think about which of the business models you feel most comfortable with right now. You might choose one-on-one and decide you're going to offer something that you deliver directly to an individual customer to start. Or you might choose one-to-few, where you're looking at a small group program of 30 people or less, and perhaps starting far fewer, for example, just 3 to 6 people in a small group. Or you may opt for one-to-many if you're already an advanced product creator with an established business. You could also possibly choose a hybrid business model like our year-long Momentum program, which combines one-to-one, one-to-few, and one-to-many. Now, I didn't start there, and I'm not suggesting you need to do a hybrid. I'm just mentioning this option in case you find yourself doing a mix of, say, mostly one-on-one with a small group one-to-few component. You could just check both of those business models, one-to-one and one-to-few. But really, if you're brand new, the simplest and usually most effective way to start is simply to choose the one-on-one business model and iterate from there. So take a moment now to think about which of these models you want to focus on during EPM and check the relevant box. That's step 1, done. Step 2 is to look within the relevant section for the business model that you've chosen and consider the list of product types. Which one do you feel most drawn to as a way to make money right now? What's something you can see yourself selling to your market and, importantly, feel comfortable delivering on? So let's say you choose the one-on-one business model. You would scroll down this list here and weigh up which of these product types to choose. You might decide to start with a private coaching package, in which case you would simply check that box. Whatever you choose, know that it's much better to pick something and iterate your way to awesome versus getting stuck here not wanting to make a mistake, because the bigger mistake is not taking action. So if you find yourself procrastinating or second guessing or wanting to go too deep into the weeds here, where you can get stuck in analysis paralysis, just keep reciting the phrase, progress over perfection, because action is the fastest path to clarity. And as you iterate your way to awesome, you can always tweak or change your product type as you move forward. But start here with something by checking one of these boxes now. That's step 2 done. And now that makes step 3 easy, because all you need to do is take the product type you've chosen and enter it here in the space provided to complete your right product, right time statement. So if I had chosen private coaching package in step 2, I would simply enter private coaching package here, making my right product, right time statement as follows. I'm going to launch my minimum viable product, make my first sale or a whole lot more, and prove my profitable product idea in the next 12 weeks through offering a private coaching package. And finally, because deciding your experience product type is your next milestone, step 4 is to add your right product, right time statement to your personal EPM milestone tracking document and tag your experienced product success coach. On your milestone tracking document, which as a reminder, you can find linked from the actions below this video. Go ahead and post it on your milestone doc under milestone 4, then tag your coach to review it. Remember, you can tag your coach and leave comments on your Google Doc by using your cursor to select the relevant text in your document. In this case, your right product, right time statement, then hitting the add comment button in your Google Docs menu bar. That button looks like this here. Then, in the comment window that opens to the side of your document, type coach, their first name, at liveyourmessage.com and leave them a little note. It's as easy as that. You can also workshop your right product, right time statement on one of your weekly coaching pod calls if you'd like extra support with this. And that leads us to the end of this video. You're one step closer to having all the pieces in place for your profitable product idea. It also means you've collected even more XP. Ka-ching! Make sure you check off the actions you've completed below this video to ensure you get your XP rewards. Until then, keep remembering that anything is possible, and go out there and live your message.